How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another Pokemon Sword and Shield Wi-Fi battle. This is actually the last Sword and Shield Wi-Fi battle. It's a sort of farewell Sword and Shield Wi-Fi battle, if you get me. We're going to be using our in-game team. Obviously, it's not a normal in-game team. It's been made competitive. This is my team that I used for my playthrough of Sword and Shield recently. Obviously, Isle of Armor, I got the Urshifu and stuff like that. So that's what's going on with this team. Couple of rules. We're both allowed an Uber each. So I believe he has Dracovish there, and I have the Cinderace. And we're allowed to Dynamax, but we're not allowed to Dynamax until we're on our last Pokemon, so it's kind of like gym leader rules. Please like and subscribe for more videos like this one, and with that being said, let's jump into the game. And the battle begins. We're in the ground state, the Rock Stadium even. They're going to lead off with their Heatran, as I led off with my Orbeetle. Now, Orbeetle's not a very good matchup in this instance, That's for sure. Definitely not a good matchup. We find out they've got a Key Berry. I'm not sure what Key Berry does off the top of my head. But what we're going to do now is we're going to expect them to go straight for a Fire-type move of some kind, maybe a Will-O-Wisp. So I'm going to go ahead and stay in and go for a Light Screen. And that should minimize some damage from whatever they're going to go for. So we go for the Light Screen real quick. That's going to obviously stop the special attacks from doing as much damage as they would have done as they go for a Stealth Rocks themselves. So that's fine. Stealth Rocks is absolutely fine. I'm looking at their team. I'm not seeing a Hazard Clearer of any kind. So getting the Sticky Webs up is going to be really useful. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. There we go. Go for a Sticky Webs. Get them webs up all in their face. Like I said, I don't see any Hazard Clearers on their team. So they're going to go for an Earth Power. Obviously expecting us to switch out into a Fire type to take an attack. But no, Orbeetle's staying in because Orbeetle is amazing. So we'll go for a Reflect real quick. We'll get that Reflect up. He's actually just put to me that was a misclick. Oh well. It happens. We're going to get the Reflect up real quick with Orbeetle. And then we're all set up to go. So they go for a Lava Plume. That's going to do a decent chunk of damage to our Orbeetle. Not too much because we are quite bulky. Orbeetle is actually quite a bulky Pokemon. As this turn, I'm going to go ahead and switch out. I'm going to go into my Cinderace because Cinderace seems to match up really well against this guy's team. High Jump Kick is going to hurt everything except from the Mimikyu. So we'll go into Cinderace real quick. There we go. As they end up going for another Lava Plume. I don't want to get burned. That's the main reason I'm going into this instead of Urshifu. Because my Urshifu is obviously the Rapid Strike one because that's how we use still. So expecting them to go into the Mimikyu. I'm going to go ahead and go for a U-turn. They don't stay in here because High Jump Kick's pretty obvious, I think. They are going to withdraw their Chipotle, I don't know how you pronounce that. And they're going to go into their Seismitoad, which is a fair one. It's going to get caught in the Sticky Webs, which is always amazing, as we're going to get a nice and powerful Libero stab U-turn off, which is going to do a lot of damage to this Seismitoad, whatever you want to call it. Does a nice chunk of damage, to be fair, a nice chunk of damage. So getting the Cinderace out of there, we're going to go into a Pokemon that matches up better against this thing, and I'm thinking about our Dragapult, personally. I think Dragapult's definitely a good one, so we'll go into Dragapult real quick. There we go, going to our Jin Locora. Don't ask me where I get the nicknames from, I just literally make them up off the top of my head. Right, so is Choice Spec Shadow Ball enough to KO this thing? That's the real question, because Choice Spec Shadow Ball is going to hurt everything. I think their play is to go into Miltank right now, so I'm going to go for a U-turn again, expecting the Miltank. They are going to withdraw the Seismitoad. Are they going to go into Miltank as anticipated? Miss Lactose. That's definitely the Miltank. There's the Miltank, so always nice to see Miltank. Nice and slow as well, thanks to the Sticky Web, so even if it's an offensive type, we're still going to have a decent matchup. So we'll go into our U-turn real quick, get some chip damage off. It actually has Rocky Helmet, which is interesting. And now we get to go into a Pokemon that can deal with this thing a bit better. So what I'm thinking of going into is our Urshifu. I think Urshifu's a solid one because there isn't really much on their team that wants to take a close combat. So we'll go into Urshifu real quick, and what we can do now is we're probably going to expect the Mimikyu to come in. So I'll go for a Surging Strikes because that'll hit the Mimikyu for super effective damage. Not super effective damage, it'll do a lot of damage, let's just say that. So they actually stay in with a Miltank to take a hit, which is interesting. So I'm guessing they're a bulky variant, as that's going to backfire on us big time because we're hitting them 3 times. And we're going to get to the Rocky Helmet 3 times as well. So that's really unfortunate for us. I really thought they would switch out there. But I guess they're in the mindset where they can clearly see that I'm reading them. And they are obviously counteracting that. So they go for a Thunder Wave, which is really unfortunate for us. Thunder Wave is really unfortunate. As now, my Urshifu is pretty much useless, right? Let's go for another Surging Strikes anyway. We'll see if we outspeed still, thanks to the Sticky Web. They are going to withdraw Miss Lactose, and they're going to go into Seismitoad. Jijin, that's the Seismitoad. Yep, Seismitoad comes in. It's going to get caught in the Sticky Webs, which is always nice, as this thing's probably water absorbed, so it's going to get... It's not water absorbed. Interesting. So Let's see how much damage we're talking here. Look at that damage. Nicely done. Nicely done. That was a clean KO right there. So I'm guessing they're not water absorb. I'm guessing they thought they were water absorb by the way they switched them in. But maybe not. Maybe there's a reason they went into that. Maybe they just wanted to sack something off. Because now they get a free switch into the Mimikyu, which will outspeed us. In comes whatever that is. The Mimikyu. Alright, cool. Mimikyu's coming in. This thing's obviously a threat to us. It's probably going to go for a Swords Dance. So I'm inclined to go for a U-turn right now. Just to get some damage off and break that substitute. They do go for the Swords Dance. We're going to break his disguise there with the U-turn, which is great. Provided we don't get fully paralyzed, of course, because that'd be really awkward if we did. So no, we don't get fully paralyzed. We're going to U-turn real quick, and we'll save the Urshifu for later. We'll be able to, you know, sack it off later for something else if need be. So yeah, we're going to break the disguise of the Mimikyu, which is great. We're going to take our health down, bring it to the Life Orb, and now we're going to go ahead and switch out and go into something else. What do we want to go into, though? I'm really inclined to believe that the best switch here is going to be the Cinderace, or I'm going to go into my Dracozolt now, because Dracozolt is Choice Scarf for a start. Not that it needs it because of the sticky webs, but now we can just spam Bolt Beak and get a KO on this Mimikyu. We should be bulky enough to take a Shadow Sneak, that's for sure, but Bolt Beak should do a lot of damage to the whole of his team. There we go for the Bolt Beak. We are Hustle, so there is always a chance we'll miss these. Bolt Beak's going to go ahead and KO the Mimikyu, which is just perfect. It went down like a light. Damn, didn't even stand a chance in heck. In comes the Chipotle, which is the Heatran. Now, Heatran can definitely take a hit from this Dracozolt, that's for sure. So, I don't know whether I want it to take a hit. I think I'm probably more inclined to go for a switch right now. I think this is probably an appropriate time to switch into my Urshifu. So, now that the Mimikyus aren't gone, Cinderace is going to be able to rip through this team. So, that's always perfect. So, we're going to Kung Flow real quick just to get some Stealth Rock, the Urshifu Water one. They go for an Earth Power. That's going to obviously take us out. No problems there. No problems there whatsoever. As now we get a free switch into our Cinderace. So Cinderace is going to be a good one here. Cinderace, or we can go into our Dracozolt and go for an Earthquake, actually. Earthquake would be really good. I'm thinking Earthquake. I'm thinking Earthquake with Dracozolt because I really like Dracozolt. A high jump kick can easily miss. It could easily backfire on us. And I feel like having Cinderace is going to be really important later on down the line. So we'll go into our nice and powerful Dracozolt. We'll go for an Earthquake, and hopefully they stay in to try and take it. They do stay in as we do get the Earthquake off. No hustle shenanigans going on there. That's going to cleanly take out the Heatran. No problems there whatsoever. So Heatran goes down. We are choice locked. They don't necessarily know that because of obviously Sticky Webs being a thing. We're outspeeding most of his Pokemon anyway. Now they're going to go into whatever that is, the Dracovish. The big-ass Dracovish. That's going to be a great pain to deal with, right? So, this thing is terrifying. I'm locked into Earthquake. They don't necessarily know that. But I'm going to have to go ahead and go into Orbeetle. I think Orbeetle's the best Pokemon to sack off here. Orbeetle might actually take the hit, which would be incredible if it did. So we're going to go into Orbeetle real quick, and they're going to go straight for... What are they going to go for? We're going to Frisk it and find out it's Assault Vest as well, which is really interesting. So they go for an Outrage. Outrage will definitely take us out now, because Dracovish is just so powerful. As now we've got to deal with a locked into Outrage Dracovish. So what Pokemon's best for this? Probably Corviknight, I would say. Draco Meteor is not KOing with Choice Specs Dragapult, so I don't even want to try that. Oh no, it's probably the best time to try it. I know it's Assault Vest, but we should definitely still be able to weaken it to the point where we can come in with Dracozolt and take it out. So we'll go into our Dragapult real quick. We're going to go for a nice and powerful Draco Meteor. As we do miss. We do miss! Unfortunately, we miss, and they're able to go for an Outrage and take us out. So that is really unfortunate right there. A really unfortunate turn of events. Oh, wow. Oh, wow, oh, wow, oh, wow. So, they're still locked into Outrage. Do I want to risk the... I mean, I want to go into my own Dracozolt and go for Outrage. Do we want to risk that, though, because of Hustle? Is it better to just go into Corviknight? No, I think our best bet is to go into our Dracozolt and go for an Outrage, really. So we'll do that. We'll go into Dracozolt real quick. We'll click Outrage, and we'll just see how it goes on. We do go for the Outrage. We don't miss, which is perfect. That's going to come through and obliterate this Dracovish. So that is absolutely great. So it's really a shame the Draco Meteor missed. I don't think the Draco miss mattered too much because obviously there is a chance the Dracovish would have lived because of the Assault Vest we know it had. However, now they're going to go into the Miltank, and Miltank is basically dev fodder at this point. I'm guessing they're foddering it to try and get the confusion on the Outrage. There we go. Going to go for an Outrage real quick. That's going to take out the Miltank, no problems there. And I'm hoping we get confused, because I would like it if we could switch out here. That would be ideal if we could switch out. We do get confused, which is perfect. It means we can switch Dracozolt out and we can use it for later on the Urshifu. So the Urshifu is going to come in a minute. And obviously we know this thing can Dynamax now. And it's probably going to Dynamax. So we're going to have to sack something off. Because something's going to get hit by an extremely powerful Max Knuckle or Surging Strikes or whatever it goes for. So I'm going to go into my Corviknight real quick. There we go. Going to go ahead and switch out and go into our Corviknight. There we go. Not too shabby. We should be able to eat up a Max Knuckle from this thing. Maybe not the other thing that they go for. So he is going to Dynamax, of course. That is the rules. The last Pokemon you have left can Dynamax. We're unfortunately not on our last Pokemon, so we can't Dynamax just yet. I'm kind of hoping we do get to our last Pokemon because I want to Dynamax. I really want to Dynamax. So there it is. The Urshifu-Rapid-Strike form in Dynamax form. Gigantamax form even. And they're going to go ahead and go for a Max Knuckle. We're obviously going to tank that because Max Knuckle is one of the weaker of the Dynamax moves. But it is going to raise their attack significantly. Not significantly, but it's going to raise it by one stage. As we're now in a position where we could go for a Brave Bird. I'm going to go ahead and go for said Brave Bird. As they go for a Max Lightning because of the Thunder Punch they could have. And that is going to take out Corviknight, no problems whatsoever. So, the downside to this for my opponent is they've just set up the Electric Terrain. Which means Dracozolt can now come in and do some stuff. So, we'll go into Dracozolt real quick. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and Dynamax straight away. So, we'll go into Dracozolt real quick. There we go. And now the Stealth Rocks are going to dig in, which is really unfortunate, but what can you do? We are going to go ahead... Oh, we can't Dynamax. Crap. We can't Dynamax. We can't Dynamax on our last Pokemon. We're going to go ahead and go into Cinderace now. Cinderace is probably our best bets at getting our Pokemon to Dynamax, because we are going to need Dynamax. We are going to need Dynamax against this thing. So, we'll go into our Striker real quick. The Cinderace will try and preserve some stuff. They go for a Max Knuckle. That's probably going to take out Cinderace, to be honest with you, as it does take out Cinderace, which is really unfortunate. So down goes the Cinderace. They're going to get a nice and powerful attack boost. We've now officially stalled out their Dynamax, which is great. We get to go into our Dracozolt real quick. There we go, like so. And the great thing about the Dynamax with the Dracozolt is that obviously it's going to make it so that we can well, we can negate the hustle because Dynamax moves always hit. So we can Dynamax real quick and we can go for a Max Lightning. Now that we're on our last Pokemon, we can Dynamax and go for Max Lightning. It is going to do a tremendous amount of damage to this Urshifu and it will definitely one-shot it. So we're going to go ahead and Dynamax real quick. We are Choice Scarf, so we should have... No, Choice Scarf doesn't matter when you Dynamax because it negates it. But they have Sticky Webs up on their side of the field, so that's going to be great. So we'll Dynamax real quick into our Dracozolt. Nice and powerful. Big Dino boy. There we go. There we go, there we go. As now, we get to go for a Max Lightning. They go for a Surging Strikes? Wait, why are they faster? They've got Sticky Webs up. Are they Choice Scarfed? They're Choice Scarfed! No way! They're Choice Scarfed! After all that, they're Choice Scarfed and they're able to KO us. Oh my lord. Damn. That was a close one. That was a close one. I didn't expect the Choice Scarf. See, I don't play Sword and Shield very often, so I just kind of like... maybe Urshifu-Rapid-Strike's Choice Scarf is the norm. I don't know, but GG Chucho. Chucho is from the Discord server. Go ahead and join the Discord server. It's a great place to go for battles and such. Scarlet and Violet is where it's going to pop off, so definitely join. It's going to be the best place to get battles for Scarlet and Violet. Thank you for watching today's video. If you did enjoy, of course, leave a like, subscribe, all that wonderful stuff. Farewell, Sword and Shield. It's been an absolute pleasure, and thank you for watching. I'll see you all in a bit.